About time.
Leveluppodcast, man. We in the building, man.
Yeah.
We got Pete with us.
What's up, man? You got Pete with y'all, man.
Jack of all trades.
For sure. Jack of all trades, yes, sir.
Got Big B with us.
Yeah, finally see you. Ain't see you forever in the time,
right? We all over the goddamn place.
For sure. It's all good. Man, where we at? Tell them what we at.
So, man, we at, it's like one of my little projects, man,
Okay.
that I kind of fell in love with a little bit. It's EXO, right in Houston, Texas, off of Washington Street, not too far from Gallery on Washington. Yeah. If you've been to Sugar Room, you've been to 6ix9ine, you've been to EXO. So, I came here a couple of months ago, fell in love with the place. Me and the owner had a conversation, and I've been here for a little minute. I've been a couple other spots too, but this one right here, it's just something different about this one too. I got more control, and ever since I've been doing this, I feel right at home. So,
Yeah, I like the vibe here.
Nah, for real, man. It's a good vibe. Every time people come, they have a good time. And it's just like you're gonna always get something different. Like if you want live R&B music, you're gonna get that. If you want, a turn-up night on your Fridays and Saturdays, you're gonna get that as well. So you never know what you're gonna get when you come to EXO. So that's another reason why I kind of, like it a lot too.
Sure. Yeah. So how did you get started? I mean, you say you've been here for a couple of months, but obviously when I met you, like you was doing something.
Yeah. Man, I got started like when I was like 18.
Okay.
When I was in high school, and my grandfather, back in the day, he was in the entertainment and restaurant business as well. He owned a couple of restaurants and stuff like that out here in Houston. Okay. Yeah. So they called my grandfather Fast Eddie. So he had a couple of restaurants and clubs, and my father, my pops, he in the entertainment business too. So it was something that I always was a part of. So when I got out of high school, I ran track. I didn't go to college. I lost my mom, so I was like, I ain't gonna run. And I asked my pops, I was like, man, how much a promoter make?
Yeah.
And he was like, it depends on what type of promoter you want to be. Whatever promoter you want to be, it depends. He was like, you can be a promoter that, do concerts, take stuff on tour, and you can sell out stadiums. Excuse me. So when he said that, I was like, dang. He like, for real, he said, you can start off by just throwing parties, and you sell your tickets for them, for the events. So that's what I did. I did my first party at Plush, right in Greenspoint. And when I did during COVID. So that's when all the clubs was like closing and shutting down. Right. So my dog Barlow and Quan and Boom over there, they like, come on, we still gonna do it. So I did it. It was a good turnout, and it was packed. Like, it was my first event, but that let me know right then and there if I could sell tickets during COVID. And people was like, ain't nobody coming in. I was going to Walmart's, I was going to Greenspoint Mall. Like I'm going, I'm got a party, but I knew then, like, okay, this is what I want to do. Right. So ever since then, man, I just been doing parties, I've been doing events. I started off doing events, and then I need to get my name out there. So I joined forces with a couple of local promoters in Houston that's well known, Money Making Boom, and a couple of other guys. I was doing stuff with Goodfellas, and a couple of good guys that actually, been doing this for a long time. They kind of taught me a bunch of stuff in the game. So, and man, I ain't stopped since then, Yeah. So when I got with Boom, he was like, man, let's do some pool parties. Let's do some events. So we did pool parties, We booked Lil Boosie. We did Ruby Rose. Like, we did a couple of those. And he kind of got me into it to where it's like I was investing my money. Because that's what promotion is all about. A lot of people don't know that. So I kept investing my money, and we started doing pool parties. That's before it was called Encore, it was called Clay, right downtown. So we was doing Clay for a little bit, and he just, me and him clicked, because he like, man, every time you come, you got a whole bunch of people with me. I just know I had to give the gab. Like, I knew I could talk to people, and I knew when it came to women and guys, I knew they all wanted to be around each other, so that never was my problem, right? So when he seen that, it was like, we just started making it happen. And my mentor, Ace, he started like, saying the same thing, like, you could take this to a different level, man. So fast forward, I'm here, and now I'm really solo now. I'm doing a lot of stuff by myself now. Yeah.
What made you kind of branch off and just do your own thing?
Bro, to be honest with you, my mom always told me I had a blessing with my name on it, and I will always do things for other people. And when I was running track in college, I was doing things for my mom, right? And she would always tell me, like, don't do it for me. And I never understood that, because when you in the pros, or you running track, you playing basketball, you want to get your mama a house, you want to get your dad, like, you want to do stuff for your family, you want to put your family on. That's what I thought you were supposed to do, right? But she was like, don't do it for me, do it for yourself. I never understood that. It used to piss me off when she would tell me. But fast forward, as I got older, one day I realized like what she really meant. And what she meant was, if you do it for me and I'm not here, what's gonna keep you going when you wake up in the mornings? And that right there like clicked in my head. Like, I gotta do this for myself, because it's gonna be days I ain't gonna wanna do it. It's gonna be days to where every event, every party is not gonna turn out how I want it to, be. So what's gonna keep me going? And I realized I wanted to start generational wealth. I wanted to create a brand, Paradachi Entertainment. That's what this PE on my head has stand for. So for me, I didn't want to be a part of nobody else's show. I didn't want nobody controlling and tell me what I could and couldn't do. I didn't want to wait on a yes. I didn't want to wait on a maybe. Like, I wanted to come straight through the front door and kick it down. So being 18 and I'm sitting across men that's twice my age, 30 and 40s and 50s, and I'm getting them to sign a contract with me, it's like, who this little dude think he is coming here, But I knew what I wanted, and I knew it was in me, and I just didn't want nobody to tell me when I could and couldn't eat. So for me, it wasn't about being controlling. I just wanted to control my own narrative. And the only way I can do that is running my own show. And people around me would tell me, like, you don't need nobody else. And that's not to down other people I was working with, because these same people taught me the game. They got me to where I am. But a lot of the times, man, I didn't want to have to worry about looking on my shoulder, worrying about who got my back, who can I trust, you know what I'm saying, who gonna see the same vision I got. Because a lot of the times when you got people around you, they don't see the same vision that you see. So you can't get mad if things are not going according like you want it to be. But the only person that can see what I can see is God, because he gave it to me. So he ain't gonna mess this up. So the only way it could work, it was for me to actually be able to say, you know what, I gotta trust myself. But I feel like God was saying, you gotta trust yourself even more, but trust me. Stop going to other people. So it was like, for me, I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it, But at times it does take other partnerships. At times it does take other conversations that gotta be had. It takes other people that can help you get to where you're trying to go. And for me, I'm all about partnership. I don't work for nobody work for me. I just want to create an opportunity for everybody to be able to eat. And the people is my reason. It's not for me at the end of the day, So that was pretty much why I branched off. And I was under a lot of people's wings for a long time. And a lot of the times I questioned, like, when I'm gonna get my time to shine. And, you had certain individuals that would use you for certain things that you was good at. But in a way, I was using them too, because I was just trying to get my name out there. And I knew the more I put Paradachi out there, people was gonna start like saying, what is that? Paradachi. So now people call me P. So P was just something that my uncle started calling when I was a kid. But now if you know me, you call me P or you call me Paradachi. But I knew that was a slogan for me to own my own name in Houston, in any other city I go to. So, yeah.
And the reason why I asked you that too is not to discredit people that you work with or came up with, but it's just, I feel like when you trying to run a business and you build a brand for yourself, at some point you got to branch off.
For real, yeah,
go
correct.
down your own path.
100%.
Like you said, everybody's path is different in their mind, and
100%.
they got a different vision.
Yeah.
So
100%.
that's all I
Yeah.
wanted to do.
Nah, man, it's my dad always told me, certain people I had close told me the same thing, that I never needed that. But a lot of the times when you don't have that confidence and you don't believe in yourself, because we all have been there, it can mess with your mind. It can mess with your psychic. But for me, my mom always told me I had to bless with my name on it. But I think her instilling that in me in a young age was basically making her, allowing her for me to be strong, because knowing that she was not gonna be here, and when you got a mom or a father or anybody in your life that's pouring into you like that and creating that confidence, it do something to you. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, I don't need nobody else to tell me I can if I can, because it's like, if my mama was telling me this and now she with God, it's like, it's no way, but I gotta keep that same, mindset. And if I don't, when I, if I get away from that, it's like I gotta remember those things that she instilled. Like, my mom used to come in my room all the night, be like, God got a blessing with your name on it. Stay focused, keep your eyes on the prize. So as I gotten older, I started this when I was 18, I'm 25 now. So it's like now, I think about those things. Like, keep your eyes on the prize, stay focused, and trying to figure out what's important to me.
That's what keep you grounded too.
Yeah, for sure. You got to in this business. Not for real.
I think one of the biggest things you said that's important is that when you first started, being humble enough to come work under people. Because a lot of times people get the big head and their egos be so big, they don't want to, you know what I mean? You can have an end game of doing your own thing, but you have to start somewhere and align yourself with certain people.
Correct.
So that way they stand on you and
Correct.
support what you
No,
got
correct.
going on.
Correct. And that was one of the things that, and you're gonna hear me say a couple of names throughout this, but these people inspired me and helped me get to where I am mentally. Like when I would have conversations with my dog Boone, he would tell me, like, one time we was just sitting in his car and he was like, you gonna be lit, bro. He's like, I can see it in you. He was like, it's on you. And he was like, I know what you can do. And he was like, you ain't the type of dude that care about having a spotlight. You ain't the type of dude that care about having all the attention. I've always been the type of guy, I bring 30 women in the room and I'm doing it for everybody that's in the room because I want everybody to have a good time. Right. I don't care about that because that's not why I'm doing it. I don't care about the jewelry and the money and all that. That's gonna come, but that's not what I'm chasing. And a lot of the times I learned that I was chasing more money than I was chasing the actual vision. And when I would chase the money, I would get turned off by certain things because at the end of the day, it's not my vision. It's the reason why I feel uneasy and I feel uncomfortable because this ain't what I'm supposed to be doing. Right. And when I got in the game, my pops was telling me like, man, sections ain't you, they ain't what you supposed to be doing. And I'm like, man, you don't know what you talking about. My dad 57, so the game, I'm thinking I know more than him, but he my pops and he don't mean no harm. He just trying to protect his son and try to, because he know how this game is. And a lot of the times he would, he has. So when he would tell me that, I'd be like, man, you don't know what you're talking about. But now it's like, I'd be like, man, the old man was right. You know, he was right. So now I get away from the whole promoter name. I don't like the word promoter. I don't like the concept that society has turned it into. And my mentor Ace will always tell me, he says, as long as you stay in bed with promoters, you're gonna always have those same problems. So how do you put yourself in a different box? And that's what I had to learn, like how I'm gonna do that. So, and that just happened like about 2 years ago, So yeah, going into this year, it kicked off everything for me. Kind of like a rebrand, if you will. Yeah.
What, like, so for you, like, being in the club scene, the nightlife, like, what's some of the things that you've seen to be like, all right, I can put this on my own kind of twist on it?
Put in my own box?
Yeah.
Man, a lot of stuff, man. Like, man, it's funny because some stuff you see is not good, but you gotta know how to use it. You gotta have a mouthpiece. And a lot of the times, people can take that as manipulation or persuasion. Yeah. But I feel like at the end of the day, you always selling yourself. No matter if it's a job you interviewing for, no matter if you trying to get your own car, get an apartment, you gotta always sell yourself to somebody for them to believe, like, I'm gonna give you an opportunity. So it's like when I look at cats like Corey K, one of my other mentors that live in New York, it's like the way he just is with just hospitality in a whole, that's what really made me say, you know what, I'm gonna change the game. Yeah. Like, because in my generation, we all kind of do the same thing. But it's like my old man used to always tell me, it's nothing new under the moon and the stars. It's all a cycle. So it's like the way he do with hospitality and the way he did events, it was like his events had a signature. You knew it was a Corey K event every single time. And this is in New York, I'm watching this. But then he started doing business and partnerships and throwing parties for people that I always dreamed about. Like, I hate to say this, I hate to say his name right now, but Puff Daddy was always like an inspiration to me. You know what I'm saying? But it was it was an inspiration to me. I don't know, but man, it's like, I seen that. So when I seen him, I'm like, dang, he black just like me. Right. He could do the same thing and he could be in the same rooms with the people that I always thought about being in those rooms. And it's inspirational. And it's like one day I just reached out to him. I like, I'm from Houston, man. I'm young, and he hit me back. And he was like, whatever you need, I got you. And I tell you, if I call him right now, he gonna answer. And it was like he gave me so much game. He went to when Jay-Z was doing the Rock Brunch Nation, brunches for the Grammys. He went to every single one. So a couple of months ago, and I've been knowing Corey K for a minute, but a couple of months ago we had a deep conversation, and I was talking about doing a rebrand going into the new year. And he sent me all the pictures he had when he went to Rock Nation brunch, all the pictures he had when he went to Diddy stuff. And he said, one thing that I want you to understand is that don't chase the money. And I like, what you mean? He said, don't chase the money. He said, because at the end of the day, it's not the money you're chasing, it's the vision. He said, Paradachi is your brand and P is your brand. That's what you got to chase. He said, once people know that, that's going to bring the paper. And when he said that, it clicked because he was like, when he did Busta Rhymes' party, he said, I did it for free. He said, don't call me just to ask me for advice. He said, call me and ask me how my wife doing. Ask me how my 3-month-old doing. Ask me how I'm doing mentally. He said, because that's what people are going to remember when it's time for you to get in those rooms. He said, we can sit and talk about this all day. But he said, if you only pick up the phone when you need some advice, he said, then I already know what you want. Right. When you call me, I know what you want. But if you call me and say, hey, Corey, I'm just checking on you, how you doing? So now when I text him, I'm like, how your wife? How your kids? Because that's something, when I talk to anybody else, it's gonna stand out. So like even Tay Mitch, he another guy that I work with and do business with. Same thing with him. He was like, when I first called him, he was like, what high school you went to? And I was like, I went to Westfield. He like, okay. He was like, where you from? And I'm like, from Houston. He like, all right. He said, how old are you? I'm 25. He said, all right, meet me here at this location. And I met him.
When you graduated from Westfield?
2020. Yeah, I went to Clown Forest my freshman year, but then I went to Westfield my sophomore. But I met up with him, man. I met up with him, and he was just like, I see myself in you, like when I was your age. And he was like, you got it. And he was just like, one thing I'm gonna give you that's more important than money and anything else, I'm gonna put you in rooms that's gonna create opportunities. And relationships was something that I knew I needed. Like if I could be able to sit across from you and have a conversation and get you to believe in something that you can't even see that's not even there yet, I'm a dangerous man. You know what I'm saying? Because without a vision, a man shall perish. It's in the Bible. So this is all the visions. P, that's all something that was already embodied in me. But I gotta get people to believe in it. You know, so it was just a couple of guys, even my dad, man, just taking the way I dress, the way I carry myself, you know, caring about my image, caring about my, you know, my aura, my essence as a man. And my dad always told me, like, if you don't treat Paradachi serious, how can you believe for me or anybody else to do the same thing? And Dad was like, you gotta dress like Paradachi. You gotta talk like Paradachi. You gotta create a character for Paradachi. He like, how you gonna get anybody to believe in it? Ain't nobody gonna do business with you. They gonna think you just a young dude. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's the concept. But it's like, for me to be able to get through doors, it's like, nah, I gotta sit at the table and have real conversations. So just taking a couple of things from everybody, man, you know, and putting it to my own. Yeah.
He was telling me that you also do other businesses too.
Yeah, so it's really all hospitality. But like I said earlier, I had to get away from the promoter thing. I did not want to be in that box because it was killing my brand. It was killing me. It was killing friendships, relationships, because I was doing things that I no longer wanted to do. And I realized I was only doing because I was chasing a dollar sign. And it was like making me be like, well, you just like anybody else in Houston. You ain't different from nobody else. So for me, it was like, okay, in order for me to do that, what I gotta do, I gotta pivot. So let me go sit down with Juliet and let me have a conversation with them, right? So instead of putting myself in position for establishments to pay me and picking and choosing when club owners want to pay me, how can I pay myself? But not only that, how can I get clients to actually say, hey, we gonna pay you if you take care of me at this restaurant? If an NFL client say, hey, my wife wanna go out tonight, can you pick her up and take wherever she wanna go? So prime example with this spot. I got a client, her name is Gabby, but husband played for Kansas, won a Super Bowl, but now he played for Tennessee. When she called me, she like, hey, what's the spot in Houston that I can go to? I'm like, what you wanna do? I need to know your vibe, right? I just wanna go there, okay, cool. I brought it here, but I let the owner know like, hey, I'm on my way, this is who I got, I need a table, this is how many bottles they want. So now all I'm doing is creating a track record of all the stuff that I'm bringing into this establishment. So any other promoter in here, I'm not doing the same thing he's doing. Because my one client can come in here and buy 3 of these.
Smoke all of that, yeah.
She can buy 4 of these if she wants to. And I'm out the door. I'm going to 50-15 fancies anywhere else. But I know her main thing, she want to have a good time. Make sure she good, make sure she taken care of. So same thing with Juliet. Everybody don't want to go to the club. So how can I get these owners in these establishments and these companies to see what I can bring to the table? And it was like, okay, Juliet, okay, then we're gonna do the Kennedy. Okay, then we're gonna do day and night. We're gonna do fancy, we're gonna do 50-15. Like we're gonna get these owners and we're gonna establish a relationship with them. I don't wanna be in your club every night. I don't want you picking and choosing. If I have a bad night, now you wanna kick me off. I don't want that. Like I want it to be to where you actually say, you know what? Okay, he bringing consistent clients. I don't wanna be on to just one spot. And that was a conversation I had with the owner here. I was like, I don't want you to pay me. And he's like, well, I know a man don't want to work free. I said, I ain't telling you I want to work free, but I know what I'm going to get myself into if I come in here expecting something and you don't even know me from a can of paint. Nah, it's going to ruin our relationship because you don't know what I went through to bring people in your establishment. But now that I know I'm working for free, I got something to prove. You know what I'm saying? So the greater reward at the end is going to be worth more entertaining and listening to when I say, okay, hey, look, this is what I want to do. Because now you just saying like, okay, this dude done brought this, he done did this, he done did that. That's how I wanted to create the conversation. So even when I met you when we was doing label stuff for the homeless, feeding the homeless, the black truck service, the Sprinter van thing. Like my homeboy Nick, he a Nuke. But when I met him, we were around the same age, 25. He got his own Sprinter van business. I was like, okay, cool. That's something that I'm gonna use. I know people coming to Houston all the time, they need transportation. So that's what I did. I made sure they got transportation. And I used him for that. And, you know, I don't wanna say use, that's the wrong word, but work with him. You know, and did some collaboration with that to make sure that it's like, okay, if I'm gonna do this, we're gonna do it the right way. We ain't just a promoter, we hospitality. You know, we create events, we create experiences. And that's what Paradachi is all about. People used to always ask me, what's the identity? Well, that's the identity. I want you to leave here knowing that like Paradachi gave you a good experience. You know what I'm saying? I took it wherever you went. Wherever you wanna go, I know somebody. Like, my phone always ringing. And that's how I knew I was winning. Because now when people text me on TikTok and Instagram and they type up Houston, my profile pop up, my picture pop up. So it's like, oh, we don't know you, but we from Dallas or we from New York. I done had people come from New York, Brooklyn, Chicago, Boston, Atlanta, Louisiana, San Diego, like all over. And it's just based off of social media, you know? So it was like, I had to do that, you know? So that worked pretty much for me.
That's amazing. Like, see, what you're saying is like basically, you're the landing place for whatever you need when you come to the city.
Sure.
And that's a beautiful thing.
That's a beautiful thing.
Boy, your phone can ring. Hey, even if I can't do it, you can call me or call this person.
Sure.
And by the end of the day, I done lined everything up that you need.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, bro. God do everything for a reason, so it's his whole plan. It ain't mine. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing, man. I done tried everything, cause it don't work. I'm sitting in the jug like Kool-Aid, man. I'm just chilling, man. For sure.
So somebody was trying to, you know, want to do what you do. Like, what advice would you give them? I mean, in my mind, I already know. But
Yeah.
in your
No, for sure.
What would you give them to try to, you know, follow your life?
Just be yourself, man, and just try to figure out like exactly what it is that you want to do. Don't let nobody tell you what you can't do. And create a brand. Don't just be out here freelancing. Don't call yourself something that you don't want people to project on you. You know, create a brand. Create something that when you leave this earth, your kids, people remember. You know, and that's one thing that I'm really stuck on. Like, I want to create something to where when I leave, you know, my name means something, man. It's not about just in the clubs. I don't want to do this forever. It ain't no 401k in this. I gotta set that up. I gotta set up, you know, Roth IRAs and things like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know where the money is. You know, it's the reason why I got this bottle sitting right here. So it's like, you have to understand that. And when you understand that, you can go to the moon, you know, so.
And keeping a positive image.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Not going for everything.
Nah, and that's another thing, man. You gotta pick what you want. And that's why I got the relationships with iHeartRadio, you know, and understanding like what I wanna do. I know the level that I want to take this on. And for me, I think everybody got to have that conversation with themselves. That's the advice I would give. Like, what do you actually want to do? I want to do concerts. I want to do tours. You know, like, that's what I want to do. Putting asses in seats is where the money at. You know what I'm saying? Booking an artist, booking a comedian, taking something to city to city, to state, to country is where the money's at. It's in everything, bro. It's in football, it's in basketball, it's in every sport, it's in comedy, it's in R&B, it's in rap. It's like when you got something that you can take on the road for people to see, you winning, man, because it's like, that's anointing. Like, that's anointing. You know what I'm saying? You're anointed by something that's pushing people to come say, hey, I'm going to pay to go see this person. And when you got that, it's like you might as well take it and run with it, you know? So, yeah, man, that's the advice, for sure. Yeah.
I think you wise on your years.
I appreciate it, bro.
This to you is like amazing. You know, I've been in business a little while, but it's like you saying some things that I didn't even know when I was first starting. A lot of trial and error. You know what I mean? So
I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, man. Nah, you good, bro. You good. You good.
It's like, that's literally like,
yeah.
that's what I was on at that time.
Yeah.
Still to this day.
Yeah, man. You got to, man. In order for you to want to win, if you're trying to win, you know, and I want to win, man. I take this really seriously. You know, I'm not quick to post and talk about everything. When I'm actually studying, I'm studying other people that have been in the game. Like, I'm studying how, you know, companies actually navigate and make a brand relevant. You know, it's not you that's making the money, it's the brand. And the people have to become a part of it. When people feel like they're a part of something that you created and they wasn't even there, when they come, they feel like they was part of it. You know, and hospitality is about thinking about people. Like, I care about what you like, what type of music you like, what type of drinks you like. You know, do you want to be picked up? You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to wait in the line. Just because you're a regular guy don't mean that you gotta wait in the line, because your money is just as significant as any other person that is coming here spending $1. Just because this person spend 10 don't mean that you treat them less because this NFL guy or this basketball, this big baller finna come in and spend 50. No, you treat everybody the same. And when you do that, you can have everybody. I want the whites, I want the blacks, I want the Hispanics, I want everybody, because that's what it's about. Hospitality is not about race, it's not about color. It's about understanding like what's the goal and what you're trying to accomplish. And it's to have a good time. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, at I am Paradachi. And my business page is Paradachi Entertainment. It's a lot of new stuff that we coming up with. So follow me. If you're out of town, you don't live in Houston, and you want to come to Houston, Houston is the #1 city right now for partying. On Sundays, don't leave Houston on a Sunday. And best believe that Paradachi gonna be part of every day, every experience. And the R&B, Usher and Chris Brown concert is coming up. I'm part of that tour as well. So if you do need tickets, if you do need VIP passes, let me know. And I can't wait for y'all to see what's to come, for sure. Yeah.